Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub, your ultimate source for all the latest Liverpool FC transfer news. Liverpool makes its move for Alexander Isak as Richard Hughes preps record-breaking transfer. Liverpool has made contact with Newcastle United to discuss the possibility of signing Alexander Isak. Liverpool.com understands no formal offer has yet been submitted, with it widely accepted that Newcastle has no plans to sell its key man. Liverpool's approach was seen as more of a fact-finding exercise to see if the player could be available and, if so, for what sort of price. Meanwhile, The Athletic has reported Liverpool communicated its interest to Newcastle in concluding a deal around the £120 million, $161 million mark. In a busy summer of attacking moves in the transfer market that has seen Chelsea sign Liam Delap and João Pedro, Manchester United bring in Matheus Cunha, and Arsenal reportedly closing in on Victor Gyökeres, Liverpool's interest in a striker has been succeeded by the signings of Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez, and Florian Wirtz earlier this window. But adding a new number 9 is certainly seen as an important step, with Isak not the only striker on Liverpool's radar. Hugo Ekitike is another player the club is monitoring, claims The Athletic. Ironically, the Frenchman could be on his way to St. James Park, with Newcastle reportedly in negotiations to sign Ekitike, but have yet to agree a transfer. Reports in recent days from journalists covering the Magpies state that the Eintracht Frankfurt star is not seen as a replacement for Isak and could even play alongside the Swedish star. Should Liverpool manage to conclude a deal for Isak in the region of £120 million, $161 million, it would shatter the club's record transfer fee for the second time this summer. The £100 million, $134 million, arrival of WIRTZ set a new record earlier this window, with a potential further £16 million, $22 million, in potential add-ons. Should those extra fees be triggered, it would make the transfer a British record deal, eclipsing the £115 million, $154 million, Chelsea paid for Moises Caicedo in 2023. Isak's price seemingly would outstrip both transfers and represent one of the biggest global deals in recent years. The former Real Sociedad man has scored 52 goals in the last 2 seasons and is widely seen as the best striker on the market this summer. A move for Isak would likely result in Darwin Núñez's exit from Liverpool. The Uruguayan forward, who netted just 7 goals in all competitions this season, has attracted interest from Napoli and Saudi Arabia this summer. The news of Liverpool's Isak interest comes as the Reds rejected a €67.5 million, $79 million, £59 million offer from Bayern Munich to sign Luis Diaz. Liverpool transfer news. Luis Diaz asking price revealed, as Reds immediately reject £58.6 million Bayern Munich bid. Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich have reportedly failed with an opening offer for Liverpool attacker Luis Diaz. The 28-year-old scored 13 goals and provided 7 assists in 36 Premier League games for the Reds last season and established himself as an important first-team player in their title-winning campaign under head coach Arne Slot. Diaz recently said that he is very happy at Liverpool, but refused to confirm or deny whether he will remain at Anfield this summer at a time when negotiations over his future are still ongoing. The Colombia international is yet to agree fresh terms on his Liverpool contract that expires in June 2027, and he has subsequently been linked with some of Europe's biggest clubs this summer. La Liga champions Barcelona are known to hold a strong interest in Diaz, while Bayern allegedly saw a formal approach for the versatile attacker rejected by Liverpool earlier this month. Liverpool demand £86.7 million for Diaz amid Bayern interest. Now, The Athletic reports that Bayern have stepped up their interest in Diaz by submitting a formal proposal to Liverpool worth €67.5 million, £58.6 million, but it was immediately rejected by the Reds. The report adds that Diaz is valued by Liverpool upwards of €100 million, £86.7 million. Although this asking price is said to have been set for accounting purposes rather than a sales position, because the Reds' stance throughout this summer has been that the attacker is not for sale. It has also been claimed that Diaz has made it clear to Liverpool that he wants to leave the club this summer, which comes after previous reports stated that the South American has submitted a transfer request. Although Liverpool's stance on Diaz has been unequivocal so far, Sky Deutschland claims that Bayern are preparing an improved offer as he remains their top priority. Diaz is thought to be open to joining Vincent Kompany's side, who are prepared to offer the attacker at least a 4-year contract. Could Liverpool use Diaz, Nunez funds to sign Isak or Ekitike? Diaz is not the only Liverpool attacker who has been tipped to leave, as Darwin Nunez is reportedly wanted by Serie A champions Napoli, and both clubs are said to be in discussions over a deal that could be worth in excess of £50 million. Should Liverpool decide to part ways with either or both of Diaz and Nunez, then they would generate sufficient funds that can go towards their pursuit of either Alexander Isak or Hugo Ekitike, who have been identified as the club's leading centre-forward targets. Liverpool have allegedly approached Newcastle United to discuss a record deal for Sweden international Isak and would be willing to pay around £120 million. Striking an agreement at that price would see Florian Wirtz quickly dethroned as Liverpool's most expensive signing of all time, just weeks after the German playmaker moved to Anfield for an initial £100 million. Liverpool are yet to make a formal offer to Newcastle, who have insisted throughout this summer that Isak is not for sale, and should an agreement fail to materialize, then the Reds will likely step up their pursuit of Eintracht Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike, who was recently the subject of a rejected £70 million bid from the Magpies. Everything Arne Slot has said about Alexander Isak as Liverpool makes transfer move. Liverpool has made a formal approach to sign Newcastle striker Alexander Isak, which should come as no surprise given how head coach Arne Slot evaluated him last season. On Tuesday, it was announced that Liverpool had contacted Newcastle to discuss a record bid for the 25-year-old striker. No bid has currently been made, and Newcastle has no intentions of selling its star player, but talks are ongoing. Liverpool forwards Luis Diaz and Darwin Nunez are linked with moves elsewhere, which could pave the way for the Reds to make a blockbuster offensive addition. Slot is one of many head coaches who admire Isak and saw his quality twice last season. Last season, Liverpool and Newcastle couldn't be separated. The first Premier League meeting on December 4th ended in a stunning 3-3 draw, and Isak opened the scoring that day. After the match, Slot praised Isak for his powerful strike. That they are able to score a goal, that's not a surprise for me, and especially the first one, what a finish that was. That shot from Isak, I don't even know if Kom Kelleher saw that goal, as hard as it was. Liverpool then hosted Newcastle at Anfield on February 26th, as Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai scored in a 2-0 win. Although Isak didn't play in that game, Slot was complimentary of the Swedish forward. It's an understatement to say that he's in fine form, Slot said after preparing to face Isak. I think he's in excellent form. It's the team performance which will help us control him. The more ball possession we have, the easier it is to control him, although he's definitely a threat on the counterattack as well. The good thing for us is that we've got two center-backs that are probably one of the best players that are able to play against him. We have two very, very good center-backs, and that's definitely what you need if you face a striker with the quality of Alexander Isak. Liverpool's final encounter with Newcastle was at Wembley Stadium on March 16th, during the League Cup final. A late Federico Chiesa strike wasn't enough to save Liverpool, as goals from Dan Burn and Isak handed Newcastle a memorable 2-1 victory. It was Newcastle's first major trophy since 1955, and a bitter blow for Liverpool as it also crashed out of the UEFA Champions League that week. Liverpool lost to eventual winners Paris Saint-Germain, and Slot compared Isak to the forwards leading the French line. Looking at Newcastle, we played them twice, Slot said before facing Newcastle in the League Cup final. In the last game Isak wasn't involved, in the first game he was involved. He is such an important player for them, he's an unbelievable threat and has the speed that, for example, the attackers of Paris Saint-Germain had on Tuesday as well. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.